all seems really meaningless. I'm just wondering why I'm boring. Why anybody at all is boring. I wasn't gonna do this live stream because I thought, what even is the point? But I'm still doing this live stream because whatever, does it even matter anymore? And so I'm here. Hello, Philip. I was gonna put up a thing saying I'm just not feeling it today. I'm not gonna do anything. I've got technical difficulties. There were no technical difficulties, but I really wasn't feeling it today. I'm just thinking, what is the point? What is the point? Is there any point in anything anymore? I'm just wondering if there's any point. And I think the answer is probably not. Yeah, hopefully I will find some motivation next week. Who can tell? Whoa, going in and out of focus. Yeah, so this week's been interesting. I've been out and about. I've been into the centre of London. I looked at the Christmas lights and I actually did a video of the Christmas lights. I was like, well, that'll be good. And then I looked back at the footage and I was like, I look horrible. And also I had something up my nose and I was like, no, I can't use any of it. It looks terrible. I mean, I suppose I can put, here's the Christmas lights, nothing with me in it. But my ego makes me think I need to be on the screen. I need to be there. I need to show that I'm in the world. So I don't really know what to do about that. The Christmas lights are pretty much an anticlimax on their own. They're just like, I know there's on Oxford Street, there was giant baubles that fell down and smashed. And you might have seen them. And they looked like when the silver splayed off them in the wind and they bounced down and they looked exactly like in The Prisoner with the big round balls that come and just... They look like that. Anyway, they're not there anymore because I think they're a health hazard. There were some little ones down a little side street. But apart from that, there's some like angels that I think that they probably reused on Regent Street. Howdy. And they look a little bit like a Doctor Who villain or something. I think they've used them in... for many years, it looked all commercialised on Regent Street. And they would have some sort of tie-in with a movie or some sort of big thing. I say thing because amorphous, something that was like paid for and sponsored. But I think that probably the sponsorship has dried up. So I think they probably are old. I'm pretty sure I have seen these decorations before. And then on Oxford Street, they're just sort of strings of stars, which are really unimpressive in the daytime. And there's really big areas where there's nothing. Obviously, the people are not... There's boarded up shops and things. And there's a lot of... This is what... They're not impressive anyway. So they're really not really worth doing a video about. But I do have the footage of nothing, basically. But there's an awful lot of different things changed. There's buildings that have sprung up and buildings that are not there anymore and all sorts of things that have changed since I've been into the centre of London, which probably is nearly 3 years since before the incident happened. And I'm just like, oh, because where the Astoria used to be, at the top of Charing Cross Road, they promised to build a theatre in its place, and they have built a theatre in its place, but I think it's considerably smaller, just off centre, and there's a little road. I think there's an extra road up to Soho Square, because I made my way to Soho Square, sort of going down a side street, going up a side street, and I was like, oh, I don't know where I am. So I think it's all a little bit like disorientating. Like where there used to be Foyles moved, it's a big bookshop, moved one door up, and then there's a new thing in its place. And there's all sorts of exhibitions that weren't there before that I think are just empty spaces that they didn't have any shops going into, and people have gone, oh, we'll have an exhibition there. I was in a hurry, so I didn't go to see them, but it's just not the same. It's just like, what's happening? Some things are the same, but some things aren't. So yeah, but as I say, the video I made, I look absolutely dreadful in it. I look tired and awful. I mean, I walked nearly an hour to get to the meeting that I had, and then I walked back to try and save money on fare. But so I did see a lot of London, but I was so tired, and I was just like, and I didn't eat all day. I had some gluten-free crumpets in the morning, and then because the meeting went on for a lot longer than it was supposed to, and it was at 1 o'clock in the middle of the day, I didn't eat anything until much later. I wasn't hungry either. So I suddenly thought, well, maybe I've been eating too much anyway, because I don't, if I'm not hungry after all this walking and all this out and about, maybe I don't actually have to eat anything. And now today I'm just like, I don't feel like eating, and I have eaten, obviously, but I'm like, maybe I don't ever need to eat again. But I don't think that that's a safe or reasonable thing to suppose, because clearly everybody needs to eat things. But I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just like, what's the point of anything? Which is pretty much what the opening salvo, which is, it's not like I wrote that song. It's just I came on and strummed my guitar and warbled along. I suppose it's a song now, in a way. But I'm just like, oh, what? So I really, as I say, I've said as I say about 4 times. It's not one of my phrases. Why am I saying as I say? Anyway, I do say anyway. Now I'm analysing everything that I've ever said. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I saw London. How impressive. London, I think, is only really great if you can go there with a big pile of cash and do all the stuff and go and see all the cinema and theatre and go and... I think the exhibitions were largely free. I don't even know whether they must be money-making opportunities. But I didn't do any of that anyway, because I was there for a meeting, which took up my whole entire day, apart from the walking there and the walking back and the not eating. So yeah, if anybody can think of a reason for living, that would be great. Because at the moment, I'm just like, so, yeah, London is very expensive. Yeah. The Rover is it Rover and the Prisoner? Oh yeah, it is a plot device, Bohem. It is. I miss that. Yeah, it is. With going back, I've only seen the comment because the comments, it's on a little screen. I've got this here. I can only just about see the comments for about a second, and they disappear, and I'm like, what did that say? And without jabbing at it and making them disappear, which I, for good, which I have done in the past. So I'm trying to keep up. Yeah. So what have I done this week? I watched Wednesday, which I don't know. Is it aimed for children? I think it must be. It's not aimed for me, obviously not, because I'm not the demographic for anything. Really, I'm the demographic that the world forgot. Whatever I am, they're not looking... Yes, I could keep living out of sheer curiosity. The thing is, I sort of want to live forever, but I'm thinking, why is that? I want to live forever. I want to never die. I want to live forever. I want to reach the sky. I want to keep on going until eternity. I want to, but I do not know why. Because I do not have a reason. I do not have a reason not to die. That was improvised, and that's surprisingly right. Anyway, it was just like, there must be a reason. It's just like, I want to live forever and ever and ever. No, I don't want to do that. No, yeah. I would never do that. Why would I do that? That sounds appalling. Yeah, so Wednesday, I was watching, not on Wednesday, on other days of the week, and it's like, and everybody's doing the dance, which I can't do because, as you can see, I can't do. Whatever it is. Anyway, Highlander, yes, live forever. But it was. I like the casting. I think all of the casting was good, except for one of the semi-love interests. Although I've seen the person, is it Jenna Ortega, do an interview saying she didn't want it to be a love triangle, and she kept saying, "Don't make it a love triangle," but they were pushing it anyway. And neither of the male leads had any sort of charisma as far as I can see. And the one that was like, the painter one, that's a plot spoiler. It's all a spoiler if you haven't seen it. Everything is basically a spoiler. He was just awful. I just really did not like him. But, you know, and the plot was just stupid. It was like Harry Potter. It was Harry Potter meets Monster High with a little bit of Riverdale, and it was all like American high school stuff. And it's just, they kept talking about normies and outcasts, and it was like, I think somebody's missed the point somewhere. Obviously, the Addams family themselves were nothing like ever the Addams family has been in the history of Addams family. Oh, although Uncle Fester was good and Wednesday was good. Like I said, I've got no problems with the acting. It was almost all really good, but the actual concept and plot and writing was just off. As far as nobody cares about my hot take, but this is what I think. It was like Harry Potter with less transphobia. Basically, that's all it was. It's very thin. Keep watching it. I mean, I didn't not enjoy it. If you go, well, this has got nothing to do with the Addams family, and it's an American high school thing with slightly goth kids, then you'd go, yeah, that's all right. It's worth watching for that. But if you go, oh, well, this is something to do with the Addams family, and I've seen other iterations of the Addams family, then Wednesday, the character Wednesday is fairly true to all the other iterations, but everything else is just off. And I don't know. I've just before this, I was thinking Tim Burton is a hack, but he hasn't got an awful lot to do with it, to be fair. I think he directed a couple of episodes, but it's not really his show, even though he's been flagged as the person that's running it. He's not the showrunner, he's just involved. And I used to like Tim Burton in the same way that I used to like Johnny Depp, and I don't like Johnny Depp anymore for various reasons. And I'm not sure I like Tim Burton anymore for different reasons, because I haven't actually seen any of his stuff for a while. I think if I rewatched it, I might be disappointed and go, oh, this isn't as good as I remember it. But I don't know. Maybe I would enjoy it. Who can tell? And obviously, if Tim Burton wanted to work with me, I'd go yes. Although he's not going to now, because I've just gone. Well, he wouldn't anyway, because the chances of me having the chance to work with Tim Burton are very infinitesimal, especially now I've just called him a hack. He's not a hack, he's really good, and if I work with him, I would be, yeah, it doesn't matter, because it's not going to happen. So it doesn't really matter what I say, because nothing matters, which is the point of this whole thing. Nothing matters, and life's a joke, but we carry on living, as you say, and 1 million to 1, if that even, 1 million to 1, although you never know, because I've worked with people that have worked with people that have worked with people that have worked with people, as if that's got anything to do with anything. I've been in terrible films, and that's all that. and they're on Amazon. Of all things, you can actually find them in places that you can see them, and then you'll go, what was that? And I'll go, yes, I was actually talking to one of the people that was in one of the films that I was in yesterday, and went, hey, did you get any money for that? Because it was supposed to be a percentage deal. Over 10 years, you were supposed to get 2%. My contract said I was supposed to get 2%. And I know when it got a distribution, the director contacted me and said, I can give you a very minimal amount now, and I can give you more later when it all kicks in. I was good. I was like, give me that amount now, please. And I was like, and then I'll get more when it all kicks in. But I got to that minimal amount, and I was like, I take it, and I never heard from him ever again, and that was the end of the money from that. So never ever take the percentage deal unless you're working on Superman the movie, because I know that Marlon Brando did a good deal with the back ends and everything, but usually I don't think it works out very well on the general films that get, well, if you're lucky if they get distributed, and it's also only over the first 10 years, and it's like, that's not going to work. So don't do that. Learn. Take the money up front. Take the money. Don't have any sort of, oh yes, percentage deal, unless you know, well, take the money and get the percentage deal. Yeah, do that, but don't go percentage deal. That sounds like a good idea. Even if you really like the project. which I can't say was the case, really. But, yeah. What's the point of anything? I don't know. My hair's gone all flat again. I washed it, and it's still a bit wet. I'm just like... Oh, hooray! I can be Cousin It in the next... yes, that's what... I'm Cousin It from the Addams Family, and that's what I am. And then, you see, this is clever, because now Tim Burton won't recognise me, and will still cast me, because I'll just go, yeah, that was somebody else. No, that person had a face. So, yeah, and that's how you get around that. Anyway, it was... yeah, it's nearly Christmas, isn't it? If for the people that celebrate Christmas, or even for the people that don't celebrate Christmas, it's still nearly Christmas. It is Christmas no matter. Either way, it's just there. It's just the thing that's there. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got to book a passage to India. I'm not going to India. Some sort of coach. It will probably be. Get some gel. Yes, exactly. I could be in 90s. If I could be an 80s new wave band, then that would mean that I have gone back in time, which if I would that I could. That's like an ice cream cone. It's like a weird comb over, like Donald Trump hair, like that. Yeah, so I could do that. Space buns. Yes, I could do space buns. Just there. There you go. Yes, I'm Princess Leia. That's what it is. Duran Duran. Yes, Union of the Snake. Yeah, so I could do all these things if I could go back in time, infinite times, and live a million lives that are way more interesting than my own. Then that would be great. And maybe that's what I've done. And that's because I do remember when I was 4 or 5 years old, thinking, I wish I've told this story before. I wish that because my life is so rubbish, I was thinking when I was 4. I wish that old me, grown up me, that knew everything about everything could come back and tell me what to do. And in that moment, and we were running around a little circle, I remember that. And I had warts on my knee, and my best friend, who was a boy, had fungus on his finger, so I thought, we're outcasts together, very much like Wednesday. And somebody else I knew had something wrong with it, so I was like, yeah, we are the outcasts, we are together. 3 million, 3-0. I don't know what that talk is. And I was thinking, I wish that a person that older than me that knows things could come back and tell younger me what to do. And at that moment, I was like, as if I'd been possessed by older me, and I knew everything. And from then on, I had the knowledge of the world as it is, and how absolutely futile everything is. So the consciousness of me got transported back into the past of little 4-year-old me, and told me what a waste of time everything is. And ever since then, I've been cynical and realised that it's all futile. But I keep a happy facade. Yes, I'm masking it. It's a facade. It's like, yes, you just go, yay, everything's great and it's all really good and nothing's gonna go wrong ever. It's all really great and things are great and everything's gonna be amazing. Yes, they do. I wasn't an extra though, but extras can either be a member of Bectu or Equity depending on where they live geographically. That is in this country. I think they can be SAG-AFTRA in America. And it helps if you, yes, I think you have to have screen credits in America before you can join SAG-AFTRA. And then once you've got them, you can say words. So I think you could get non-union jobs, I believe, where you don't say words, which are walk-ons, not extras. And then you can, when you finally got enough screen credits, then you can get the... I mean, that's not the only way to join. Obviously, you don't have to be an extra in order to build up, because that's really not the way to go. You don't start off as an extra and build up to being somebody that speaks and does stuff. But you can. I think it's still generally frowned upon. You can still do that. In the studio system, way back in the day, That's how they did it. They'd sign a contract. You'd sign a contract with the studio, and you'd be in a few things. And if they liked the look of you, Lucille Ball started that way. She was sort of modelly and pretty in the background, and then they started casting her as things, and they found her forte. How do you become an extra? You various different ways. I think you can join an agency, and they'll find you work, and that's probably the best way. But I'm not an expert on this because I'm not an extra. But I do know people that are walk-ons. It's called walk-ons. Be respectful, yes. And I do know people that make a good living. There's Danny Worthington, that I know. I met him through comedy, and he does a lot of comedians. You'll find a lot of comedians, especially in the north, get a lot of their work through, a lot of variety artists generally get a lot of work through being an extra, and to supplement their income while they do the other things. But Danny Worthington's been in a lot of things. If you look in, and also my friend Marisha, who's she has been speaking parts in things, but she gets a lot of work as a walk-on, and she was actually the body double for Claire Danes in something, I think. And maybe for somebody else. She was in the other Berlin girl, was it? Yeah, I think is it Natalie Portman? I don't know. Whoever was the main in that, she's in that, and you can see her in actually the opening credits, so you can see her face. But she's actually a body double in Starlight, I think, of Claire Danes, and she did lots of stuff like that. But so I don't know. You'd have to ask people that know these things. I know people that have done these things, but that's not really a thing that I do. So you go for it. I'm more of a sort of, no, I have to be front and centre. It has to be featuring me, with me in the lead, saying words. I'm not very good at being because I think if I was an extra or walk on, then what? Because it doesn't do to make a show of yourself. If you are a walk-on, then the whole point is to be in the background. Or if you're a featured extra, I know people that have been featured extras. I know one person that's been in a lot of episodes of Doctor Who, and you can see his face, and he's actually, most notably, he shot the pig in the Aliens one with the Slitheen, and he was also a human Dalek, and he was also the one where there's a Nazi officer at the beginning, and he transforms into, it's actually a robot. It's like a robot ship that other people are steering inside, and he is one of the people that it transforms to in that one. So he is in a lot of things, so I don't know how he got those jobs. I think mainly from being in Wales. That's how you got Doctor Who jobs, because everyone I know that's in Wales that did any sort of acting with me has ended up in Doctor Who. But a featured extra, you can see their faces, and they're there, and they might even have lines if they're very lucky, or unlucky, depending on what you think. But if you're a background artist, I think you just have to be background, like the back of your head and stuff like that, and then they can use you in lots of different scenes because you can't see who you are. But there was, I did see something, I think it was Heartstoppers, Heartstoppers, that had a big scene with lots of people in a room, and somebody pointed out that the same background artists, featured extras, whatever, were dotted around. They'd got about 10 people, and they doubled them. They superimposed them on lots of different places. So it was the same person all around the room, and it looked ridiculous when you started actually analysing the scene. So I think that is why you don't show people's faces, or you get enough people that isn't a problem. Anyway, that's not my job. I don't know why you're asking me that, because it's not my job, and it's never been my job. So anything that I've been in, I've had words, and I've quite insisted on being a thing, a person, a part of it. I don't do background very well. Even the thing that I had hardly anything in, I still screamed and shouted and get covered in, splattered with blood. Working my way down, excuse me? People are just being rude to me now. Yes, exactly. What? I don't know what exactly what. Anyway, life is a sham. Everybody jam. Everybody say yay. So, hello. I'm gonna go very, very soon after all this show because everything is pointless and everything is futile. Everything is really bad. Quite really bad is a way of saying it's pretty terrible. Everything I do is so sad. I don't know why is it making you mad. I don't know what's going on. I was just reading the comments. I think I should go quite soon because I don't know what I'm doing and I never knew what I was doing. And I don't know many calls and I'll do a few more. And hello, I don't know who you are, but hello to you. Just as I'm going, you say hello and I'm gonna say goodbye in a second. And goodbye is what I'm gonna do in a second or two. Maybe I'll learn to play the guitar one time. My nose. Oh, that's nice, thank you. Well, I'm glad that I was relaxing for somebody, and that was my point in life. I made you sleep, and I made them have a lovely relaxing time. Oh great, I'm glad it's really calming. It's suddenly become obvious that that was my point in life all along. And I'm glad that I've helped, and I'm glad that I've done that. And I also gave some mince pies to a homeless person yesterday, so maybe that was my point. Having a relaxing video about nose strips and giving some mince pies to somebody who said they were very hungry and alone. And I hope the mince pies helped a little bit, but they probably didn't help that much. The point in life, yes, exactly. I am always discussing what the point is in life. I'm at that point all the time. I've actually done a nose strip too. It's on TikTok where I've got a nose strip on and I go, I might know me from my nose strip video, but nobody did, and nobody watches me on TikTok, and I've pretty much given up on that because nobody watches me and I've got no subscribers or followers, as it's called, on that particular platform. And if you want to follow me, there's lots of videos there, and that's where I've been concentrating everything for 6 months, and nobody cares, and it's all been pointless, and I'm on the verge of giving it up because nobody cares. Oh, thank you. And I can be found by E.Lise Harris because my actual name was already taken by somebody else. Oh, to be taken by somebody else. Yes, so go follow me on the TikTok, the clock app, as people find out. Then when you find out what the point is, you realise it was pointless. You're quite right. You are quite right. Wisdom was always. Anyway, so that's me. I had some veggie burgers today. I can still taste them in my mouth. They were very strange. They're from Aldi. They were meatless vegan burgers that were apparently the ultimate burgers. And they tasted like sesame and meat. And they were vegan. And there's no sesame in them. And there's no meat in them. And I'm still wondering what on earth was going on then, because they were very strange. I'm like, did they put the wrong burgers in? I mean, they weren't like meat burgers. They just tasted very meaty. Anyway, Pointless. That's the whole point of everything. I'm going to go now. Have a very lovely week. I suppose it's probably just as well that I came and did this, even though I wasn't going to. I was until the last second. Oh, why? What's the point? I will see you. Yes, exactly. See you, Monica. See you, E. See you, Bohem. See you, Ollie Bean. See you, Arafingal. Who else? Who else? Oh, obviously Philip. And that's it. Everybody else as well that might see this at a later date. Hello to you and goodbye. See you very soon. Just set. Bye-bye. Oh, and Paul Anchor. Bye-bye. Have a great week. Bye-bye.